All right, welcome back to my favorite video of the week here then. This is the Friday walk and talk. Today we're at this beautiful reservoir here. This is full of fish, absolutely fully stocked of fish. There's usually a lot of people fishing, but because it's a Friday, there's not, I think there's one person here fishing. But on a weekend, this is pretty busy. There's always a lot of people. And the fish in here are pretty big as well. I was surprised. I saw some guys pull a few out last weekend. So I wanted to start with a little story, as often I do, which I thought was really funny. So I was just driving here and there was a bit of a traffic jam. There was like 7 or 8 cars, and it's just a single lane road, so you can't get 2 cars by. So I'm driving here and I'm like, why are all these cars stopped? All the engines are on, but there's obviously a traffic jam going on. Why are they all stopped here? I couldn't see. So I got out the car and walked down the road, and I could see there was a duck. And this duck was just walking down the road. People are honking, they're trying to drive up, rev their engine, scare it off. This duck is just not fazed. He's just chilling. He's just strolling along, not a care in the world. So I go up and like, right, I'm gonna catch this duck. Let me grab him, put him over the hedge or something. And the duck starts running even faster down the road. And then you can see people are laughing, and I'm trying to catch this duck. And I couldn't catch the damn thing. And then it gets even worse, more embarrassing. This girl, she must have been 6 years old, maybe. She jumps out the back of a Land Rover, so obviously a farmer, I guess. She walks up to this duck, so I obviously stop chasing it. She walks up to this duck, says something to it, no idea what she says, reaches down with one arm and picks up the duck. And then she starts petting it, talking to it, walking, walks it back to the Land Rover, jumps in the Land Rover, and I'm stood there like, what just happened? What just happened? So then I had to do the walk of shame back to my car as everyone's laughing, and I'm sort of laughing and shrugging, and yeah, well, you know, there you go. But here's the moral of that story. The British Army paid easily £1 million, I would say, for all of my training, put me through every survival skills course you can imagine, and you know, all that sort of stuff. And yet I couldn't even catch this one duck. That's what dawned on me. But yet this young girl, probably 6 years old, tiny as well, goes up and catches this duck really easily. So here's the moral of that story, what I realized from it. We just don't have these survival skills anymore that we used to have as a society. We've forgotten all of these skills. But I'm guessing that girl's a farmer, so she has these skills. She knows how to pick up a chicken or a duck, and she knows how to, you know, tend to animals and all that sort of stuff. I actually don't have those skills. Now, it's going to be easy for me to develop them. I don't think it'll be difficult at all. I can develop those skills very easily. But it just dawned on me that most people just don't have any of these skills. And if things really ever get bad in the future, what are they going to do if they don't know how to do any of this basic stuff? And remember to check out my video on Monday, this documentary that I've done. I'm really excited for you all to watch it. Now, for those of you who say, oh, my partner's not on board with your channel, doesn't like watching your stuff, it's too controversial, it's too scary, don't have them watch that video, okay? Just a little tip there. Let them watch any other video, but don't let them watch the video on Monday, because that'll be it. You'll never get them to watch another one of my videos again after that. How are these currency wars going, by the way? I think this image sums it up nicely. Whoa, what's going on with these seagulls? Can you hear these seagulls? They are having a party or something. Yeah, I think this image sums it up nicely, actually, with everything going on with the currency wars at the moment and gold. And we're hearing some murmurs now. I'm not sure if it's true yet. We'll have to wait and see. But we're hearing murmurs now about Russia backing their ruble with gold. If that happens, that is going to be quite bad for the euro, for the British pound, for the US dollar. Nothing good will come of that. And even with inflation, that's quite a comical subject at the moment. Gosh, these seagulls. That's right, keep the noise down, seagulls. Yeah, if we even think about inflation at the moment, first of all, inflation was too low. Oh, it's only 2%, it's too low, we need higher inflation. Then, oh, higher inflation is good for us. We went from that Then we went to, oh, COVID, everything COVID. Okay, we need even more higher inflation to help fight COVID. And now it's, what's the next one? Oh yeah, Russia. Russia's the reason for inflation. There was a really funny clip. I don't know if I can find it. If I can, I'll throw it on this video of Biden. He goes on the news and he basically says, we keep hearing all these things about inflation as a result of government money printing. This is just not true.
The second big reason for inflation is Vladimir Putin. Prices went up more. And then Putin invaded. Make no mistake, inflation is largely the fault of Putin.
And then you've got all the people that, you know, watch the mainstream media and believe everything he says. Oh, well, that's it. Well, if Biden says it's not true, then that's that. It can't be true. He says so. So money printing doesn't cause inflation, and that's that. Hello, there we go. Right, we got a little dog here. Here he is. Okay, I don't know where I was then, but that man just stopped me for a little chat, asking me what I'm up to, introduced me to his dog, which was a nice dog, didn't try and savage me. So anyway, yeah, you got these people who they're like, oh, well, Biden just said currency printing doesn't cause inflation. The government doesn't cause inflation. So that's that basically. And I was like, yeah, a bit like Hunter's laptop. Yeah, nothing to see here. But yeah, you know, I just find it so funny the way like Biden or a politician say, but that's a complete lie. And then that's it. It's like, okay, explain why it's a lie. Explain why, you know, these statistics or numbers are not correct. No, they don't need to do any of that. They just say it's a lie. So there you go. Bit like Rishi Sunak. We need to come up with a song or something about Rishi. Rishi, he's a little bit fishy. I bet he watches my videos, you know. I was thinking this the other day because I remember when I walked through the city of London, which is a big financial district, and which, by the way, is not part of London. How weird's that? It's a country all on itself inside London. But we'll talk about that another day. And every, I don't know, 2 minutes, someone would stop me and say, oh, hey, I watch your videos and all that. Whenever I've gone to financial districts and I've walked around, people always say they watch my videos. Even here on the island as well, walking around the financial area, people say, oh, hey, Neil, watch your videos and all this. So I guess a lot of people in finance watch my videos. I bet Rishi watches them. Rishi Sunak. We need to come up with a couple of catchphrases for him. Rishi Sunak, he gave us 5p back. Yeah, if I knew how to beatbox, I'd make a little song for Rishi right now. Rishi, he's a little bit fishy. Yeah, do you remember the politicians during all the lockdowns? We're all in it together. We're all in it together. Yeah, some of us were. Not quite everyone. There was that lady, I can't remember her name. I'm going to see if I can find the clip.
And I want to ask you about the latest allegations on Christmas parties. Did you attend the Downing Street party that was organised?
Where she was asked about the parties, you know, the Downing Street parties. And she says, well, I can't tell you if I did attend the party or not. You know, if a tree falls in a forest, does it make it sound? You know, does it make a sound?
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know whether I attended the party. It's that age-old question, if a tree falls in a forest, but no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound? Well, if there was a party in lockdown when we told everyone they couldn't even attend funerals, but no one knew about it, was there a party?
You're like, what? Sorry? You bring in philosophy into this. Well, we don't know. Was it a party? Was it not? Was it a work meeting? You know, so I can't answer that question as to whether I was at that event. No, you can. You can say whether you were at the event. You just don't know if it was a party. Okay, so were you at the event? Well, again, I can't answer that question.
It's very hard because hypothetically, I could think, oh, you know, back in May 2020, I was there with my rosé that I'd got on the way. It's direct route, great, and a sausage roll.
We need to think about people's health right now. Sorry, what are you talking about, lady?
Is this wrong? Well, I'm not going to know that until people find out about it, and I'm being made to explain myself, hypothetically.
We've got a big build-up of troops at the moment, haven't we? US troops now near Russia. I think we just passed 100,000. That doesn't include weapon systems. That's just troops. And to be honest, I don't really follow some of this stuff because why would I? I'm not really interested in what's going on there. What I'm interested in is me, my family, my community. That's what you should be focused on as well. You should be focused on your own business right now, not, you know, Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, which has just been in all the media, taking up everyone's energy all week long. Did he assault him? Did he slap him? Was it all set up? Was it a joke? You know, there's all this stuff coming out about it. And then for him to, you know, drop all those F-bombs and everything. And then people say, oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, why are you surprised? That's what I would say to everyone. Why are you surprised? That clip has been seen by more than 1 billion people around the world. I don't know if you're aware of that. More than 1 billion people have now seen that clip. Why are you surprised that this is being normalized in television? Don't be surprised. This is all part of the big plan. You know, violence and then swearing. And then to say, oh, it was all justified. Oh yeah, totally justified, all of that. If you don't think that was, you know, if you don't support that, then you know, you're on the wrong side. You support, and then they'll come out with all this, you know, other stuff. Even though Chris Rock has said he didn't know about Will Smith's wife's medical condition. But, you know, that's irrelevant, I guess, to the whole situation here. That's what they're saying. Oh, I'm just blogging on it now. Tell you what, tell me, what do you think about the Will Smith?
Yeah, I don't think it was great. Didn't deserve the slap for my money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Especially now in comedy clubs that don't like what they hear, they can go and smack them.
Yeah, I know. But the media says it's all right. Yeah. Violence and swearing's all right now on TV.
No.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. You ask normal people on the street what they think, and you could go around and ask people, and they'll all say the same thing. But yeah, if you actually listen to the media and you look at all of the situation, they act as if, you know, 99% of people agree with what happened, that situation. He was completely justified. Oh yeah, the media, he was completely justified to go up and assault another person who was doing their job, a comedian, by the way. Right, it's comedy. This is the thing. Yeah, it was a very controversial joke. Personally, I wouldn't have made that joke myself. You don't really know the situation there. But actually, let me just say one thing on this, because I know someone with alopecia. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I've known her forever. I've known her, I don't know, 20 years, something like that. And she's got alopecia quite badly. You know, she's got some very large bald patches. One of them's, you know, the size of a golf ball. She's got a lot of these bald patches. So I do get it. But I didn't see any major, you know, like big bald patches like that on Will Smith's wife's head. But I guess there's a lot of history there from what I'm hearing between them. But either way, with a lot of this stuff, you're best off just not getting involved in it. I always think of all these sort of situations like a glass of water. So you wake up each day and your glass is full. So you've got a lot of energy, you know? You've got a lot of energy each day. And then the media tries to drain that energy, or not just the media, but maybe it's your work, or there's a lot of other things. So that by the time you finally get, you know, to the end of the day, you're exhausted. All your energy has just been completely drained. And that's what you want to avoid. That's why I don't like watching the mainstream media, because they just drain my energy. They don't contribute. Like, there's a lot of videos that I might watch during the day, and they contribute to my energy. Yeah, okay, some of them might drain me a little bit because I have to think quite a lot. But a lot of them, no, they really add to my energy levels. They help me to gain an understanding of certain things going on. And just one other story I wanted to share with you as well today. I was walking, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and this massive sort of argument, should we call it, broke out between some birds in a bush. So I walked over to see what all the commotion was about. And there's about 10 sparrows, and they were just going for it. They were really, really just going for it, fighting. And I thought, why are these sparrows fighting with each other like this? Is it because the sun's out or something like that? Guess what they were fighting over? Nesting material. There was this little ball of fluff, and they were all fighting over this ball of fluff, and the fluff's going everywhere, and it was pretty funny to watch these little tiny birds. But then afterwards, as I was walking away, I thought, you know what's interesting about that? That's like human beings, and animals teach us a lot. And I bet you when all of this starts to go down and everything starts to get bad, those sparrows will be just like human beings. You will see 10 people like that fighting over a toilet roll or a bread roll or something similar to this. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw 10, 20 people fighting over one bread roll. I don't know how many of you are aware at the moment of the situation with this bird flu going around, But I'm guessing a lot of people don't know about it, because when I've been speaking about it to people, they haven't got a clue. So there was this local news type interview. I don't know where it was. I think it was England. I'm not sure though, of this woman. And they were interviewing her, and she was talking about eggs and, you know, how many eggs her family eat every day. They eat a lot of eggs. And the funny thing is, she said she only eats free-range eggs from free-range chickens. And straight away I thought, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if she knows there's no such thing as a free-range chicken. It's just a chicken. You know, a chicken is born, it's a chicken. There's no, you know, free-range chicken ever born. So the interviewer basically said to her, so what do you think about there being no free-range eggs at the moment? And she said, oh yes, there is. I just bought some from the supermarket. And he said, no, you can't have done. All the chickens have been indoors for so long, they're no longer free-range. And this lady just couldn't grasp it. She says, okay, but if they're a free-range chicken and they're indoors, they still lay free-range eggs, right? And he's like, no. If they're indoors, then, you know, they're not classed as free range anymore. So the eggs won't be free range. And she was like, but how can a free range chicken not lay free range eggs? And yeah, you can imagine what I was sort of holding my head in my hands going, please let this be a joke. I hope this isn't, you know, for real. But a lot of people don't realize right now what's going on. And they don't realize that all of these chickens and birds all around the world are being destroyed. Now here's the controversy around it. What do you think they're using to test these chickens? Have a guess what they're using. This is completely true, look it up. They're using the PCR test. So it's almost impossible. You've got to think of it like this. Imagine they go and they test a load, let's say you've got, I don't know, 1,000 chickens or something, and they just randomly select 20, 30, 40 of those chickens to do tests. What do you think the result's going to come back with? One of those is going to come back positive. Whether it's a real positive or whether it's a false positive, you are going to get these results by using these PCR tests. We know this. This is a fact. It's in the British Medical Journal. It's in all sorts of, you know, reputable, credible journals now. So what happens? These flocks are getting destroyed, because if you've got one, then they probably all got it. So people just aren't aware of what's actually happening right now with the food supply. Have you heard about all this bio-sludge as well that's been dumped on farms over the years, and now the farmers are being closed down, they can't grow crops. It is not looking good for the food supply, as we've been talking about. Okay, here they come. Here comes my friends. So whenever you hear me talk about my friends, you know who I'm talking about now. Hello! Big, beautiful horses. Now, for those of you horse people, you'll probably know what breed these are. I think there's 3 large breeds. There we go. One for you. And one for you. So I think therethere's 3 type of large breeds of horse. Now the only one I know about is Shire horses. And these are pretty big work horses, as they're called. So I'm going to feed them some carrots now, and then I'll get going. Okay, let's move over to the next reservoir here then. You know, one of the things I find really bizarre at the moment is all these people who are, you know, they've always been very self-righteous, and I think people call it virtue signaling now, is how it sort of evolved. And they've gone from immunologists now to geopolitical military strategists. I don't know if I told you this, but I got locked out of my Facebook account. I've been locked out for more than a year. Well, I finally got back into my account this week, and I'm just looking over Facebook, and some of the things I saw were absolutely bizarre. Okay, let's just get up this hill and I'll carry on. Okay, just 3 things all popped into my head at the same time then. Oh, I'm out of breath a little bit. I keep forgetting when I'm doing a video not to walk fast or run up a hill. I don't know why I always do that. Anyway, in front of me there's a couple of cormorants. These are big, big birds if you've never seen them before. Fishing birds. Yeah, so Facebook then. I read this post. Oh gosh. I mean, this lady is, you know, just normal office type of job. She's an administrator. Nice lady, don't get me wrong. But what she put on her Facebook was just bizarre. Obviously, I don't know if she even knows who Sun Tzu is, but he wrote the book, The Art of War. A great tactical book. Pretty much every military commander's ever read it. So anyway, I printed off what she wrote here. I'm just going to read it out to you, but it's so windy. Paper's blowing everywhere. Okay, let's just get down here. Okay, I've got a windbreak here. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war. Okay, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. And then she put the Ukraine flag. Yeah, okay, that's not what's going on here. I don't know where that came from and why people are sharing that message. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Okay, so here's the next one then. Oh, I'm going to disturb these ducks. Sorry guys, sorry about that. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, are you ready for the next one that I saw? Treat your men as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley. So I read that and thought, oh, that's a great one actually. But I thought it would be interesting. I wouldn't post this on their profile, but I thought it'd be interesting to rephrase this because, you know, this is politically not correct anymore. You can't say that. You can't say men and sons and assume that they would be, these males would be soldiers. That's very inappropriate. She didn't mention pronouns or anything like that. So I've just rewritten it today, just in case any of you want to post this on your Facebook. So here's how you should say it. Treat your them, X-E-M is the pronoun, as you would your own beloved vis, V-I-S. And they may, okay, we can't say will, and they may accompany you into a meeting carrying a virtuous flag to discuss how to convert the disenfranchised, okay, you got to mention that, to use pronouns for greater equality, leading to the de-escalation of food or energy-based wars. So hopefully, for any of you that want to be using any of these, if you do use that one, definitely use what I just changed it to there, just so that you are politically correct. You wouldn't want to offend anyone by saying men or sons or assuming those going to fight in war would be men. I wanted to tell you another funny comment. Well, I keep multiple comments that I keep getting. And by the way, you'll know when I'm annoyed or upset by a comment because I'll tell you that I'm upset by a comment. Like when those people were saying, jump off a bridge, go hang yourself. Like those sort of comments do bother me. But the ones that are just woke comments, I just find them funny. So when I share these and people, you know, sometimes people say, Neil, don't worry about it. You know, stop stressing. I'm not stressing. I actually find these comments really, really hilarious. So the comments I was getting this week were bizarre. People keep saying, you know, the usual Putin lover. Oh, you stand with the Russian people. It means you stand with tyranny. That was a weird one. So that person basically thinks the Russian people are tyrants. Okay, let's not even I mean, how do you even address that? And then I try and respond and I think, there's no point, but I'll say, look, this is just statistics, it's mathematics. You know, the ruble rising against the euro or the dollar or the pound, you know, like I covered in yesterday's video. You know, this is just a fact, it's a statistic. It doesn't mean I, you know, support a war in Ukraine. You know, there's all this sort of strange stuff. So I replied to one guy and wow, okay. So I said that, I said, you know, this is just mathematics and statistics and charts. And he replied, well, math is racist. What does that make you? Ooh, that was, okay, we're going to go there, shall we? You see, I've heard that comment a lot of times before where people say math is racist. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a meme. I thought someone had just created that as a joke. No, I found one person who actually believes that math is racist. And he went on to say all this stuff about, oh, white people are, or, you know, mathematicians. You haven't got all these other, you know, ethnicities that are mathematicians. Therefore, math is racist. What on earth is all that about? Oh yeah, and all mothers are women, so that means that those mothers are sexist. But you know the other thing, if you try and say to people that there's actually, 7 or 8 types of war or conflict going on around the world right now, they just flip. They absolutely freak out. If I say, well, look, you've got Afghanistan, Libya, Syria, Iraq, CAR, Central African Republic, You've got the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. You've got Somalia. I mean, these are just off the top of my head, conflicts. You've got a military coup that took place in Myanmar. I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of people dying in these conflicts, tens of thousands. So far, Ukraine civilians, and this absolute tragic, horrible, horrible. But again, this is mathematics, this is numbers. 1,200 people so far, civilians, have died in Ukraine, which is obviously inexcusable. It is. What I'm saying is, I talk about statistics, numbers, and facts. And unfortunately, you know, in this world now, we can't say these things. We can't say, yes, you know, these are the statistics, these are the facts. You definitely can't say, hey, well, you know, you support what's going on. Why don't you fly an Ethiopian flag? Why don't you fly a, you know, whatever flag to show your support for those people? Now, if you think about that logically, imagine if you went out and put up an Ethiopian flag right now outside your window, or you put it on your profile picture. It would never happen, because people would go, what on earth is this? What are you flying this flag for? Don't you support Ukraine? And this is the sort of logic now that is that's going on. And another comment that I got, which again, it is an attack, but I just laugh it off because I think it's ridiculous. And as someone basically said, they were offended, or whatever they were saying, that I was in a blanket and I was making a joke about, you know, the heating and energy crisis and whatever. And they said, at least you've got a blanket. People in Ukraine don't even own shoes. I mean, what are they, who doesn't own shoes? I'm pretty sure people in Ukraine own shoes, even though, yes, there's a conflict going on. There is, let's not take away from it. But they own shoes, okay? You know, trying to say people don't own shoes is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Actually, that leads me on to a question that a few people have asked me. Said, what did you do with all of your food at your last house that you know, obviously you store food. What did you do with it all? I donated it all, me and my wife, to the food bank. That's what we did with the food, as we have always done for many years. We've always donated food to the food bank. Because if you've actually worked in any of these food banks or these, you know, drop-off centres or anything like this, like I have volunteered in them, you'll know that the people coming through are absolutely poverty-stricken and they need the food. They actually need the food. So one thing I will tell you, a pattern that I used to see at the food bank, was that you'd have families coming through, man, wife, children, or you might just have women with their children coming through. Maybe they've lost their husbands, things like that. They were always grateful to get the food. Every single time, very thankful, very polite. I never had anyone that was rude, anything like that. The 4 or 5 times I had someone being really, really rude, they were actually British people, so British food bank. They were British, and they'd get a whole trolley or cart, whatever you want to say, full of food, full. And then they'd complain and kick off because we didn't have a certain item that they wanted. And I used to just think, how ungrateful have people become? Where they're at a food bank, they need food because they haven't got any food for whatever reason they're there. We won't get into it. And then they actually complain. So they're getting stuff for free that people have donated, and then they complain about it. And it reminds me a little bit, it's not the same thing, but it reminds me a little bit of when I'm making my videos and people complain and they're sometimes outraged by the things I say. And I just think, dude, this is free, right? This is a free video. This content is free. You know, sometimes I want to say, hey, let me get you a refund. Just drop your details in the description, in the comments. I'll give you a refund. No, it's free. The content, all this content on YouTube is free. And YouTube is terrible at paying for this sort of content. You would think that they pay you a lot of money in advertising revenue, make it worth your while. Not really. You would think I'm making an absolute fortune from these videos. Not really. I average about, I think it's about, as of right now, it's about £125 for a video. Now you work that out. That's not a lot of money when you think how much work goes into these videos, especially the documentary type of videos that I make, where sometimes I've spent 50, 60 hours, sometimes more. Monday's video, I probably have spent the last 4 to 5 months on and off, just an hour here, a couple of hours there. I've easily done 60 hours on that video. And I'll probably earn £200 or £300 if a lot of people watch it. Now you do the math on that, you don't earn a lot of money from it. Okay, I've been talking way too long on this video. This is probably one of the longest walks I've done, so I think I'll end it there. Sorry, Mr. Duck, disturbing the duck again, knocking him off the path here. So let's end it there. Thanks for watching today. I'll see you on Sunday, so I won't post tomorrow, but I'll see you on Sunday for the monthly live stream. Remember, you've still got time to get your questions in if you are a private community member, tier 3 or above. All right, so take care, God bless, see you next time. What is this place?